In this module, we are going to be graphing quadratics in vertex and intercept form. So recall the axis of symmetry is the vertical line that divides your parabola in half. Your vertex is either the highest or lowest point. And your x-intercepts, or your zeros, are where your graph intersects the x-axis. So starting first in vertex form, we can get our vertex straight from the equation. It is going to be hk, where h is the opposite of what is in the equation. So remembering that the vertex always goes through the axis of symmetry, so our axis of symmetry would be at x equals h. So if I want to graph in vertex form, we can get our axis of symmetry will be at x equals, I need the opposite here, so that's going to be at positive 5. And then the vertex would be at positive 5, positive 3. So remembering from module 11, that's going to be our middle point here. And then I will go 1 in either direction. So I would have 6 and 7, and then 4 and 3. So now I just need to go ahead and plug these values in. So I have y is equal to 2 times 6 minus 5 squared plus 3. You can throw that into your calculator, and then you will get out positive 5. And then I'll do the same thing with 7. So I have 2 times 7 minus 5 squared plus 3. Throw it in your calculator, and you'll get out 11. So remember, this works as a mirror. So these y values would also be 5 and 11. So now I can go ahead and graph. So I'm at the point 5, 3 for my vertex. And then I have 4, 5 and 6, 5, and then 3, 11, which is off our graph just a little bit, and then 7, 11 off our graph just a little bit. And here is our first quadratic. All right, now intercept form is going to tell us where we cross the x-axis. So I'm going to take both of my values here that contain x and set them both to 0. So that means that our x-intercepts are at x equals p and x equals q. So remember how the axis of symmetry works. If I know both of my zeros, the axis of symmetry is going to fall directly in the middle. So what I want to do to find my axis of symmetry is find the average of your x-intercepts. So I'm going to take p plus q and divide it by 2. To get the rest of the vertex, remember the x-coordinates of the vertex and the axis of symmetry are always the same. And then I'm going to take that value and I'm going to plug in that axis of symmetry to our equation. So for example here, I want to first start by finding my intercepts. So I'm going to take x plus 3 equals 0, x plus 2 equals 0, and then I can solve those. So my x-intercepts are at x equals negative 3 and x equals negative 2. Now my axis of symmetry, I need to find the average of those. So I'm looking for the middle. So I'm going to take negative 3 plus negative 2 divided by 2. So that's going to be negative 5 over 2. And I have x is equal to negative 2.5. So now I want to go ahead and plug that into my equation. So I have y is equal to negative 3 times negative 2.5 plus 3 and negative 2.5 plus 2. You can type it in your calculator just like that and find the vertex. So that gives us a vertex of negative 2.5 and 0.75. So remember, that is our middle point in our graph. And I'm going to go on either side. So I'm going to use negative 2 and negative 1, and then negative 3 and negative 4. So now we can go ahead and plug those values into our equation. Now, when I plug in both negative 2 and negative 3, you'll see that we get 0, which should make sense because that is where we cross the x-axis. And then if I plug in negative 1 and negative 4, we will get out negative 6. So now we just need to go ahead and graph. So negative 2.5 and just a little under 1. And then negative 3 and negative 2 are the intercepts. And then I have negative 1, negative 6, and negative 4, negative 6. And here is our quadratic. For these last couple, I just want to find the vertex and the axis of symmetry. So remember that the axis of symmetry is always x equals, and then it's going to be the opposite, so it would be -3. And then my vertex would be the point -3 and -7. In intercept form, the first thing I'm going to do is take my two values here. So x plus 5, set it equal to 0. 2x minus 3 equals to 0. So one of my intercepts is going to be at -5. The other, I'm going to add 3. So 2x is equal to 3 and divide by 2. So I'm going to get that x is equal to 1.5. So now my axis of symmetry, I'm going to take -5 plus 3 halves, so 1.5, and divide that by 2. So our axis of symmetry is at -1.75. Now remember to find the vertex. We're going to use that same x coordinate and plug it into our function. So I have y is equal to 4 times -1.75 plus 5 and 2 times -1.75 minus 3. So when we do that, we will get out -84.5, and then there is our vertex. All right, backside is your practice problems.